Oh my, here we go. Round two. It's taken me a while to record this, so I'm just gonna jump right to this. I'd like for you to understand a few things. Number one, our government is based on the idea of a social contract where people actually have to agree to be governed. What should our government do once we have that? Protect our life, protect our liberty, protect our property. Okay, here we go. I'm going to share my screen. That way you can see the article that is going to go over everything that I want you to do for this particular assignment. Did I explain the assignment yet? Probably not. That assignment is creating a timeline of important events in the buildup of the American Revolution. I know one that I want you to do, and that is Proclamation of 1763. Okay, so what issue? This is literally the article. What issue is there? All right, one of these, one of these, one of these. I'd hopefully you say that. Okay, so once you've got the poll question down, here's the article. Causes of the American Revolution. Today, the United States is one of the most powerful countries in the world. However, it was not always that way. Before the United States became a country, there were 13 colonies along the eastern coast or part of North America. The colonies were controlled by the British Empire. Eventually, the colonists rose up in revolt against the empire, but it didn't happen overnight. There were multiple causes of the American Revolution. The 7 Years' War causes problems. One cause was the attempts to reform the British Empire after the 7 Years' War. The 7 Years' War occurred after almost 500 years of wars between European empires. Multiple empires across the world fought for power and territory. In the end, the British Empire had never been larger. Britain now controlled the North American continent east of the Mississippi River. It also controlled French, Canada, and India. The aftermath of the war put a lot of responsibility on the shoulders of the British Empire. War on a global scale was expensive. Britain doubled the national debt to 13 and a half times its annual income. On top of that, Britain had new expenses. They had to secure their new lands. They had to defend them from invaders and internal revolt. These factors led Britain to try to take more control over the North American colonies in the 1760s. American colonists resisted these efforts. So, got a question here. And again, I'm not necessarily grading this so much as I am the outline. So, how did the financial impact of the 7 Years' War affect Britain's relationship to the colonies? Well, sounds like they maybe want to do they want to try to show greater authority? Yeah, maybe. Britain returned territory? No. Britain immediately sent more troops to the colonies. Did that happen? Did it? Did it? Did it? Did it? No. Yeah, I know I'm right. King George's vision for empire. King George III took the crown in 1760 and brought Tories into his government after 3 decades of Whig rule. The Tories typically wanted a stronger absolute monarchy. The Whigs preferred for the monarchy to have more limited control. Tories, who King George III brought in, held an authoritarian vision of empire. They thought that colonies should be controlled strictly by the monarch. Britain made the Royal Proclamation of 1763, whoa now, and emphasized its imperial control over the colonies. The king forbade settlement west of the Appalachian Mountains. He hoped this would limit costly wars with the indigenous peoples of North America. The colonists protested this access. They had fought alongside the British for that land. Now they were told not to settle on it. They demanded the right to access the territory. So why do you think this land meant so much to the colonists? Are you kidding me? What are the 3 natural rights? Life, liberty, and property. In 1764, British Parliament passed two more reforms that were unpopular with the colonists. The Sugar Act tried to prevent widespread smuggling of molasses in New England. Parliament also passed the Currency Act, which restricted colonies from producing paper, hard money, such as gold and silver coins was scarce in the colonies. Between the restrictions of the Proclamation of 1763, the Currency Act, and the Sugar Act, some colonists were alarmed. They worried this was just the start of even more restrictions and taxes. Kids, I am going to stop the video now because I want to upload this video now. But pretty much, I want you, yes, you, to make a timeline. I know there's a few things that I want you to include on there, like the Proclamation of 1763. And we'll go from there. We'll use this resource. I'll make this assignment due Friday. Good luck.